On today's episode of the Views from Section 400 podcast, we have football, possibly the worst football Sunday in recent memory. Not just because the Giants got killed by Matt's Eagles and Cam Scatterboo might be gone for the rest of the year. It was not a great football Sunday, but we reacted to all of it, and I think Jonathan Taylor should win the NFL MVP. See you guys soon.
And just like that, we're back.
A16, turn me up.
Welcome into episode 216 of the Views from Section 400 podcast. Today is October 28th, 2025, and Halloween came early because this Sunday slate was spooky. It was not fun.
Nope. Bye-mageddon hit. A lot of teams on a bye, my Jags included. So wasn't that much fun watching football this weekend. A lot of teams that were supposed to take care of business took care of business. But there's definitely some stuff to talk about, definitely some takeaways. What'd you think, Matt?
I think there's definitely some things to talk about and some takeaways. I was listening to Jason Kelsey. I think he's how I got this information, which not a guy you would think you would get facts from, which you probably read off just ESPN or whoever handed him the piece of paper. But apparently first time since 2020 that, I think 8 teams scored 38-plus points. And I believe they have a chance to go for the record tonight, obviously, with Kansas City and Washington with a game in Arrowhead. But, yeah, a lot of scoring this weekend for a spooky slate, as Brian liked to call it.
Yeah, well, the problem was it was a lot of scoring for one side and then no scoring for the other side in most cases. Starting with, and we might as well get right into it, my New York Giants. The field evened out this week. They got the win in MetLife, and then they go to the Link, and the refs are being the refs against both teams. The refs were just terrible throughout the game on both sides. But the most egregious call was the tush push. That was a fumble that they called forward progress on. That Kayvon Thibodeau then went to the locker room and said that was bullshit. And Brian Burns said, "You're going to get fined." And he said, "No, great call, ref." The game was tough to watch. And then icing on the cake, Cam Scatterboo ankle is just fucked.
Yeah, that's an interesting takeaway there.
Which one?
There's a lot there to digest, but you're right. I didn't think the refs were that great, and honestly, across the board, Saturday and Sunday, college and NFL, I thought the refs are just across the board. I'll take a seat in Jack's corner for this one. The refs definitely we're on a bye week too. I mean, it was a bye week for everybody. So, you sweep it under the rug and you move on to next week. In terms of the Eagles, they went on the road 2 weeks ago to MetLife, lost a divisional game. They came back home, played the same team, and got the win. So, nothing to panic about. I told you after that game in MetLife I wasn't panicked. And 38-20 victory is exactly how, maybe not that exact final score, but I expected a decisive victory for the Eagles at home. Kelly Green in a revenge spot. I gave the Giants a 0% chance. Yes, 0% chance to win that football game on Sunday. And that's exactly what happened. Saquon Barkley got back out. We'll see what happens with the hamstring injury. And, he always just has a little bit of juice when it's against the Giants. Devonta Smith stepped into the role nicely as wide receiver 1. Dallas Goedert, 2 touchdowns on National Tight End Day. Jalen Hurts still throwing the ball effectively, only 180 yards passing, but the non-turnover, the way
should have had one.
Well, he didn't, but the way he's able to not turn over the football, which was a big question mark, I'm looking at 0. So the way he was able to not turn the ball over, interceptions, taking care of the ball, they get an 18-point win at home. It's nice to see. And look, Tank Bigsby ran for 104 yards as well, who, they brought him in to be the kick returner. I think he's, it's a nice one too. You can take some pressure off Saquon, who you definitely don't want to run into the ground the second year in a row.
Yeah, if watching Saquon run for 60-yard touchdowns against the Giants wasn't deflating enough, watching Tank Bigsby run for first downs on 2nd and 31 just is the icing on the cake. That play almost made me turn the game off.
I mean, it would have made me shut the game off if the opposing team had two different running
2nd
backs.
and 31.
The opposing team had two running backs run for 100 yards on me. I would be pissed.
One guy did it only 9 carries.
Shout out Tank Bigsby.
And it was the backup.
War Eagle. Yeah, I saw them give Shipley give him a War Eagle, Brian.
War Eagle.
I saw Shipley get some carries. I mean, yeah, the Eagles offense, they were able to do whatever they wanted to the Giants. Pause. But it was great. It was great win for the Eagles. Definitely, as you guys were talking about the refs, that was a pretty questionable play. And I was talking about this with some friends, but it's been, as you said, Matt, bad Saturday and Sunday. It's been bad Saturday, Sunday for weeks now.
It's the year of the ref.
It really is the year of the ref. And everyone's like, what the hell's going on? Like one of my buddies said today, bring the replacement refs back. I'm convinced that it's
bring them back. We don't need them anywhere near the field.
They were bad.
Bro, I mean, I'm convinced that it's the influence from the DraftKings and the FanDuels of the world. There's just so much more reason. There's so much more influence to force like an outcome of a game or a play or stats here and there.
What was interesting over the weekend, or maybe late last week, I saw on one of the radio, I think it was a New York outlet, one of the guys was talking about how the NFL has some sort of stake in ESPN, right? Whether it's 10%, 20%, they own part of it. And ESPN obviously has a sports book, ESPN Bet. So, I mean, I think it's an alarming, uncovering that this guy exposed. And really, I'm surprised more people aren't, bringing an uproar, right? Because if the NFL owns part of ESPN, means they own part of the sports book, or however you want to see it worked out. That means if you're now more influenced to, change the outcome of the game, if you have a stake, if you're investing money, if picks are losing on ESPN Bet, ESPN's getting paid more money, and ESPN ultimately it's just more money. So it's again, Brian's probably doing the research on it now to make.
Yeah, I don't know who that's. They don't own ESPN. When they bought out the deal to bring Red Zone and some of their NFL properties.
You gotta look up.
But
it was a dude from like either SNY or WFAN had the full thing, and there's some sort of conflict of interest that the NFL does have with ESPN. I don't know exactly what it is, but there is some kind of conflict of interest there. And I agree that if the NFL is involved in any capacity, which they are, I don't know exactly how it is, but they do better if the picks lose. So now you're it's a weird dynamic, man.
It is.
It was Craig Barton. That man's an idiot.
Look, we're not experts.
Sense what he was saying, man.
We're not experts on the deals and the workings of the contracts and all that, but there's definitely some whack stuff going on when it comes to the refs right now.
You can see it. I mean, it's the eye test, dude. You just admitted, Brian. It's the year.
Bad.
It's the year of the ref.
No, because it's not. They're not just bad, Brian. Like that. For example, that play right there. Like, I mean, let's use that play right there.
Both ways though. Like the Eagles were getting hosed on these random phantom false starts because they're obsessed with trying to ban the tush push now. But then when something on the tush push actually happens, they get it wrong. The refs just have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, they got to do makeup
the game's
calls.
Too fast. It's
this and that. But look. Let's look at the Auburn. Like they literally had to come out, and the SEC literally had to come out and release a statement and say, like, that officiating was terrible. Like, we're sorry. Like, we're gonna make sure that this doesn't happen again. And then what happens 2 weeks later? The head ref of our game against Georgia gets indefinitely suspended. Like that crazy kind of stuff might happen like once every few years. Twice to the same team in the matter of 3 games is nuts. There's some whack stuff going on.
There is whack. And then if you want to throw the NBA in the conversation too,
when the NBA's been brutal for years and years and years, since that's been a known thing, and they've exposed as recent as last week the FBI arresting former players. So they've exposed fraud and cheating and rigging bets already. That's proven, convicted. Whether I know Billups and Terry Rozier have to go through proceeding, but even before that, we already have confirmed convictions of these guys frauding people out.
There's no doubt. Yeah, there's no doubt, Matt, because we've seen it like 5 to 10 like viral videos come out in the past week about how this was happening, and you see like people like memeing it up. Like you got some guy with like crazy night vision goggles, just like what Chauncey Billups pulled up to the tables with. It's like, yeah, like there's definitely, pro poker players that were talking about how they messed up, and the guy was like, yeah, I know that they're cheating, and just all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's whack right now what's going on in the gambling world.
He was rigging games too. Like he would tell people when he wouldn't play his stars, and one of the reports was he sat Dame and like every other starter on the Blazers. They had like the Kamara guy as their leading scorer that night, and they lost the Bulls by 30. And he told all of his buddies to bet on the Bulls. It's like
right, and it's not
really bad.
It's not even that they're like he's not telling his players to do bad. He's just got the insider information of like, hey, this isn't public knowledge. 3 out of our 5 starters are going to be out tonight.
Yep.
Get all your bets in. Let me know when they're in, and then I'll release to the media the lineup card, which obviously illegal because it frauds people out, and there's no integrity in that. But
but I'd love to be in on that.
I would love to be
also
the
at
one
the same time, fuck the sports books. Like
I'd love
I
to
hope
be
they
in
lose
on
all their
that.
money.
Yeah, so there is that involved. But look, whatever. That's a different story. We don't need to drag that out. When your team's winning, it's easy to ignore the refs and how bad they've been. And 38-20, and Jalen Hurts look good. Saquon should be fine. They come up to the bye week and then follow it up with Monday Night Football. So a nice 15-ish day break for the Eagles here, right? Kind of the middle of the season. Could go a long way. Maybe the turning point of the year that they need of, that's a long break with the bye, Monday Night Football. I mean, sometimes it does well, but I think it's a good spot for them to get cleaned up. Probably why you saw A.J. Brown out this past week. And the other thing people say, Eagles better without him?
Well, maybe. I think they held him out because they want him healthy for when they trade him.
I'm just trolling. I don't think they're not better without him. I don't think they're going to trade him. I think that's pretty nuts. But are you good, Brian?
Yeah,
I froze for a second. I'm good now.
I don't think they're trading him. There's obviously rumors, and there will always be rumors. And anytime you have a guy like A.J. Brown, who is the high-profile player that he is and is active on social media during the year, which I think is crazy. That
might be an understatement.
He's active on social media during the year. That's just a regular statement without saying too much or too little. He's active on social media during the year, and I think – it poses problems for him because when you do it in a big market like Philadelphia, they're going to have 100 people or more analyzing it and running with a narrative that, gives them clicks online. So when you play into a story and you say, hey, there's nothing to it, but it's very, very misleading, you're going to get those kinds of things. Do I think he's getting traded? No. Do I think he has no problem voicing his frustration outside of the locker room, outside of the team facility, outside of coach and player meetings? Yes. It's already proven that he has no problem doing that. As long as they keep winning, as long as they keep having success, I don't see an issue with it. And look how composed Jalen Hurts is through the entirety of the season so far. 6-2, head down. It doesn't matter. It doesn't faze him. The noise with A.J. Brown, the Kevin Patullo, the media. I think the composure of Jalen Hurts this far this year, coming off what he came off, it's just been immaculate, elite.
Are you
And
surprised by it? We know this man doesn't have emotions.
no,
yeah, that's what I was going to say.
He's a
This is the
robot.
way he's been.
I think not a lot of people are discussing that because it gets overshadowed with, AJ Brown kind of not causing scenes, but taking attention away. And it's just, Jalen Hurts keeps playing like this, 15 to 20, 180 yards, 4 touchdowns. And it's just like moving on. But if that was like 15 to 35, 180 yards, a touchdown and 3 picks, this guy's getting killed. So that's
I mean, as you should, but no,
right.
He's playing great football. He has been. He's been stoic. He's been doing him.
The hate outshines the praise, which is
Brown,
fine. But I'm going to sit here and give him the flowers, Jack.
He can have. I'm giving him the flowers. I'm giving him the flowers. Jalen Hurts is a number 5 quarterback in my opinion.
Nobody's shining that light of how composed he's been.
What do you want people to do?
Nobody has to say it.
Nothing.
He does it himself.
Nothing. I want you to do nothing. I'm saying it. I'm letting people know.
He speaks like Socrates, bro. Like everybody knows he's this stoic dude.
I'm making sure that it's in the news. That's all. You don't have to do anything, Brian. You can just sit there and smile or laugh.
Speaking of,
I'm putting it in the news.
Speaking of wide receivers,
whatever. Yeah, go.
You're good, Matt.
Before I start getting fired.
We get it. Trust me. We know Jalen Hurts is stoic. But speaking of wide receivers in the news, potentially being traded, Brian Thomas, center of a lot of rumors during the Jags bye week.
Those rumors are starting to be about New York too.
It's not
Get him reunited.
It's not happening.
That'd be so much fun. Would you be a Giants fan a little bit if he went over?
No, because he would have bailed.
No.
And it would have been him. It would have been the front office.
It would have been the front office.
Gladstone getting rid of him.
Yeah, it would have been Gladstone, but at the same time, no, I don't want that to happen.
But think about how cool that'd be. Could bring in Brian Kelly to be like an advisor for offense.
No, Brian. They didn't even make the playoffs with him. We're not letting that happen again.
If it was a 12 team, they would have made it.
Look,
but besides the Giants, who has he been linked to?
Nobody.
AJ Brown for Brian Thomas.
He hasn't been linked to any teams.
There were Giants rumors.
Maybe there were Giants rumors because it's New York and they want it to be true and people were clicking on it. But no, the reports came out that we were apparently taking calls and Cohen shut it down. It's not happening.
So would this be the second straight year then the Jaguars lost the bye week?
Considering that this is at the epicenter of the bye right now, yeah, this seems like a big L.
2 times in a row to lose the bye is not great for morale.
No, it's horrible.
On the bright side, we play Las Vegas next week. It's in Vegas, but we play Vegas next week, and that seems to be is it a tricky game? It seems to be a pretty easy win for a lot of teams right now.
Well, because the Raiders didn't have Tyler Lockett, who was released from the Titans, and I believe is going to Vegas. So not sure why he wanted to do that move. Yeah, but dude, you go from 1-7 to 2-6.
Yeah, he wants to be back with Pete.
I get it, but
and Gino.
Yeah, I can see
his
that.
Career with people he likes.
Yeah, I can see that.
Is this his last year? It's got to be.
Probably. He's got to be 30.
He's up there. Did you say 32?
No, 36, 37?
Yeah, I was going to say it's a little bit more than that.
There's no way he's 36 or 37.
I would
when Doug Baldwin left.
Yeah, I would say 35 plus.
33.
33, wow.
What?
Bro, there's no there's no 37-year-old wide receivers doing it like that.
Yeah, I think the issue is he was good right away. So he's been around forever.
Yeah, I mean, this guy, he was a Legion of Boom guy, no?
Yeah, because him and Doug Baldwin were both there at the same time, and he kind of passed the torch.
He wasn't on the Legion of Boom, but
dude, I was watching some Jimmy Smith highlights the other night, and
2015 rookie year.
He was like 35, 37 years old when he was still doing it for the Jags, and he was moving and bodying people like prime Champ Bailey. Nobody does it like that anymore. Everybody who's like 35 years old and still plays receiver is like a Hopkins, and they can barely move.
Yeah, Hopkins is probably the oldest. Mercedes Lewis finally retire?
Has to be.
I don't
It was
know.
with the Jags
actually.
last year, right?
I actually don't know if he's officially out of the league yet.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine Lockett has much tread left on the tires, but
Either way, he requested a release. You would think he would want to maybe go try and be somewhat competitive for his last ride. And unless the Raiders have something up their sleeve of going for an 8-game win streak, which even if they were going for it, they would have.
that division's tough.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Doesn't make sense.
I don't. There are worse places you could finish your career than Vegas with your friends.
Right, Vegas with your friends. Nashville's not horrible. I don't think.
I think he just hated it there, and you can't really blame him. It seems a lot of bad vibes around that too.
There are a lot of bad vibes.
Mercedes Lewis, 40 years old, was playing in Chicago last year. Hasn't played this year.
Not officially retired though.
I don't think so.
He's waiting for a call in January.
That is crazy.
He very well could be, man. But it is the bye week, so we don't get. I usually get my 15 minutes of Eagles, and Jack gets his 15 minutes of Jaguars, but we don't get that this week. And we will spare you guys next week with the Eagles on a bye.
And hopefully we'll get a nice fat Jaguar W that I can rant about coming off the bye. Team looking good.
For the listeners, I hope that happens as well, because they do not want to listen to that come in on Tuesday morning. Oh Lordy!
I mean, they can't lose to the Raiders, right?
I mean,
Even
if they do,
you better knock on all the wood right now.
If they
I just
lose,
lost Cam Scatterboo. I'm not going to knock on any wood for your team.
if
It's not cool.
they lose that, the season's over for the Jaguars.
Especially with the Texans possibly back.
I mean, the second half of our schedule is definitely the easier half of our schedule.
That's season over.
It wouldn't be a good way to start the second half, that's for sure. But I wouldn't say it's over.
It would. I don't know the word I'm looking for here.
Deflate?
No, it would accelerate. No. Open up the door further for Brian Thomas Jr. exit.
If they lose to the Jags, they got to trade him.
Well,
you mean if they lose to the Raiders?
Yeah, what I say if they lose to the Jags.
I guess the deadline. The deadline is next Tuesday, so there could
really?
be some moves. Next Tuesday is the deadline. So
Tyler Lockett, 50-yard touchdown,
happening right after the game.
And also, by the way, did he sign yet, Lockett? I just saw reports that's where he was going. Is he officially?
I have no idea. I just took your
I
word for it.
I didn't see that he signed. That was news.
I saw he definitely got released. I know they granted him the release. And I saw a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he signed.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a lot of stuff linking him to Vegas.
Wait a minute, but how does that work? Can you be calling up Pete Carroll and Gino like, yo, if I can get a release from Tennessee, like, will y'all sign me? You can do that? That's not
There's
like
no
tampering
when you're a 33-year-old receiver that's caught one pass.
Yeah, I don't think that's under the league's microscope. Too much.
It's actually insane that Kirk Cousins costed the Falcons a pick because he was tampered with to go there, and He's not even playing for them. Well, I guess he is
He
playing
looked
for them, but he's
bad on
bad.
Sunday. We can talk about that game.
He looked horrible. Yeah, I would love to talk about that really quick because I had to pick him up, unfortunately, because Darnold was on a bye and Lamar Jackson not playing, but we should see him back this Thursday. Either way, Kirk Cousins needs to retire. The nail in the coffin was Sunday.
Yeah, how about the Falcons, dude? Getting boat raced by the Panthers, beating the Bills, and then getting boat raced by the Dolphins.
Yeah, they're the worst team to try and bet on. If you're trying to understand them, good freaking luck.
I mean, the 49ers are the same way too, right? Like they beat the Falcons at home and then they just looked horrible over the weekend to who
Yeah, they're at the Texans. Also at the same time that the Niners have their rosters injured. And I know Michael Penix was out for the Falcons, but the 49ers are basically dead. It's Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle with one leg, and then the Island of Misfit Toys.
Who he did still manage to find a way to get in the end zone, Kittle, on National Tight Ends Day.
Yeah, could have used 6 more yards.
Well, he didn't get it, Brian.
No, he did not.
Yeah, well, I think the main story in this game was, Bijan only having 9 carries, 25 yards. Just, I mean, didn't happen.
When you get in a hole early, you're down on the scoreboard, you're fighting behind the sticks. It's just hard to get that running game going. That people say, well, how do you abandon it? It's like, well, what are you going to do? Give them the ball 40 times when you're down and, still get blown out, but Bijan had a big day?
No, with Kirk Cousins back there, it's probably better to just let him try to run for chunks than whatever Kirk was doing.
Well, you want to know what Kirk was doing? Kirk was throwing to Kyle Pitts. When has that ever worked out for anybody? Kyle Pitts
has had a nice year.
Archbishop Wood worked out for them.
You trying to think of his high school?
That was his high school.
That was his high school.
No, I mean, look, I know what's his name? Drake London was out for this one, but Kyle Pitts and who is this? Kalen Hodge? I don't even know who this guy is. Kadero Hodge. Dude, those guys combined for 17 targets. The rest of the team didn't combine for more than 10. That shouldn't really happen.
Yeah, I guess they also had Drake London. I feel like he might have been questionable, but I didn't feel like he was going to miss the game. And then Sunday morning came around and they just rolled him out.
Yeah.
So
still, throw Bijan the ball. Throw Darnell Mooney the ball. These are legitimate weapons. I mean, I'll give a little slack on Kyle Pitts. He's pretty.
He's had a decent year.
Pretty good compared to the rest of the guys, but I mean, Mooney, Bijan, you got to give Bijan more touches in this game. I guess that's where I'm getting at. 3 targets, 9 carries. That's it.
Their defense also let Tua throw 4 touchdowns against them, so they don't get off the hook either. I think it was just a bad showing all around.
Do you think it's any better in week 2 of Kirk Cousins?
Is he confirmed starting another week?
Yeah. How?
I don't know if it's confirmed. I know they surely don't want to have to play him, but
dude, they should bring in Tyrod. Give the Jets a 7th round pick.
He's hurt.
Yeah, but is he really?
Yeah, that's the whole reason why Justin Fields ended up having to play.
But he's not really hurt. He's hurt enough to not want to play for the 0-6 Jets.
Which also, by the way, were we not all over Jets money line this weekend? You have the owner make the comments that the quarterback can't win football games. That's usually a recipe for I know you can't because it's the Jets, but when you have a situation like that go down, it usually is a recipe for the quarterback to get the win. Am I wrong?
And no, you're 100% right.
When the owner says that,
you're 100% right. The problem, the boys band together. That's how it goes.
Exactly.
But the thing is they're going up against Joe Flacco, and we trust Joe Flacco around here.
I am a big Joe Flacco guy. I had him.
So you don't trust the Bengals defense.
We didn't get it. No, and I think a lot of people might have from what they saw a week prior. Thursday Night Football, and if history tells you accurately, that usually never goes that well when they put on a good show. Which, by the way, wasn't really a good showing Thursday Night Football. Let up 30+ points, so not sure. They played well enough to keep Joe Flacco in front and allowed him to be an elite game manager, which is why the defense looked good and got stops when they needed it. But they still did. Aaron Rodgers still had a monster game and they let up a lot of yards. But either way, that was weeks ago.
Yeah, it doesn't help that Trey Hendrickson got hurt in this one. That's a big loss for that terrible defense.
Bengals are now 1-3 in their last 4, where they've scored at least 38 points.
Yeah, that's one that I think the entire Bengals fan base and honestly a lot of America had chalked up as a win. And here come the Bengals and Joe Burrow back in December, and oh my gosh, and this and that, and that whole parade just got shat on.
Yeah, my future's officially dead.
I mean, that's deader than dead, Brian. Now they might not even bring Joe Burrow back.
I mean, we might be overreacting. That's one game. And I know it's the Jets.
They kind of needed a win, though.
That's one that you have to win.
Well, that is one you need to win. There's no doubt about that. They're going to be kicking themselves about it. And, it probably does affect the Joe Burrow timeline. They need to go out and win 3 or 4 straight for this to actually mean something. But I don't think it's the end of the world is what I'm saying. I still have faith in Flacco.
I have faith in Flacco. I don't have faith in the Bengals.
Dude, the target share is so funny from Sunday. It was like 19 targets for Jamar Chase and then 2 for T. Higgins, 2 for Noah Fant, and 1 for Yoshi Vosh. Flacco's going to do Flacco.
That's how it should go.
Throw it to
you have more than 2 targets.
T. Higgins could get a couple more.
T. Higgins can have but he started the game off with like a 40-something yard touchdown catch. So
he got it right off rip.
He got his.
I mean, the dad came out and Joe Flacco. He's like, all right, the little brother got his touchdown early, so now I can just pepper the older brother.
Yeah, exactly. All right, you're happy, right? Good.
I got to stop with the Bengals. It's like the bad habit I can't quit every year.
You're doing it every year, Brian.
And I probably will next year because I'll have the excuse that Joe Burrow is back and last year he wasn't there.
Well, maybe he'll just get hurt again. I mean, he's definitely gotten hurt plenty of times.
Yeah, you know what, Joe? Do me a favor and get hurt in the preseason next year so I don't do this to myself again.
Well, I'm pretty sure he came into the year last year with a hand injury in the preseason.
Yeah, but he was still playing.
He was still playing, and he had a great season. It was a little shaky to start, but he had a great season, obviously. But yeah, I mean, he got injured in the preseason. You did not back off.
Yeah, I'm talking. I need him to get injured in the preseason and then not play the first couple of weeks. If he's out week 1, I'm not going to do this again to myself. Well, no, if he's out till week 4, I won't do this again to myself.
All right, that's enough, Joe Burrow.
Enough Joe Burrow. Staying in the division, the Ravens finally won a game. Tyler Huntley, who knew he's better than Cooper Rush?
I don't know how elite head coach John Harbaugh, do they not have eyes in practice?
Yeah,
how do you mismanage it and then double down and bring him back in next week, right? Didn't Cooper start 2 weeks?
I think he started 3.
Dude, he was horrible.
It's ridiculous, and you don't need to be an insider and be watching practice to know that a guy that plays similar to Lamar Jackson is going to be way better for your offense than a pocket passer. Offensive line does not block the same out there in Baltimore than most of the other pocket passers in the league, and it reflects that. Cooper Rush is standing there and just getting sacked. He was terrible. Pressure all up in his face. He was just terrible while he was there. You bring in a quarterback who can move the pocket, make a couple of throws on the run. This is the guy that you should have started from the start. And I think they did last year or 2 years ago.
Went to a Pro Bowl 2 years ago.
Yeah, whenever Lamar got hurt last time, it's why would you not just do that again?
Very weird. Because he was on the Browns in the preseason after Kenny Pickett got hurt, and they shipped him off to Vegas, and then they released him. And I think the first time Cooper Rush started, he wasn't even on the team. So they had to bring him back, And then I guess the excuse was he has to learn the playbook. But you'd think the playbook's pretty much the same that it was the last time he was there.
Yeah, I mean, he should have just stayed there the whole time.
Yeah, and now you get one game out of him where you could have had like 3 and probably maybe another win. But instead you get 1. And with their schedule, they could definitely still win this division.
Yeah, I said it last week. I'm not out on them yet. I know the Bengals had the big win last week against the Steelers, and the Steelers have been the number 1 team in that division for a little while now. But I'm still in on the Ravens, man. It shouldn't be long before Lamar can come back, and if he doesn't get hurt again, I think they'll get it done.
I think he's coming back this week, Thursday Night Football. I think they play the Dolphins.
They do.
So that's a nice game to ease Lamar back into.
Yeah, because
sure.
last Friday, he was a full participant on the scout team. And they listed him
Yeah,
as
he
full.
was like – so the way they
that's
do
right.
it on Wednesdays, I think, is like the first official practice of the week for NFL. And he was out the first 2 days. Then he practiced. Then he practiced Thursday, and then he like practiced Friday. It was looking like he was going to play, and then there was like a weird – I don't know if it was late Friday night or early Saturday morning, and then it was just like, he's out. I was like, what?
Yeah. Go ahead, Jack.
I was going to say the Ravens listed him as a full participant in practice originally, which would have signified that he was going to be playing.
Right.
If you get a full
Right.
practice in, you're doing all your reps, you're going to play. But
Right.
they ended up changing it afterwards to a limited practice. That's the scout team practice that Brian's talking about. And apparently they're going to get in trouble for this. I don't know if you guys were hearing that on the broadcast for Sunday Night Football, but apparently the Ravens could get fined, lose draft picks. I mean, they could face, some pretty tough stuff because
in the era of NBA coaches holding out injury reports, you can't really mess up an injury report.
Is that what would be the issue there? Is
the issue is they signified that that Lamar was going to play, and
everybody starts hammering the Ravens, and then they yank him.
Yeah, but it's also more, that's they won't say it's for that. They'll say it's for the other team's sake. For who was it?
The Bears.
The Bears, yeah, for the Bears' sake, they have to game plan for Lamar. If he's getting a full practice in and they're expecting him to play, they have to game plan for him. And then you just pull the rug out. Like that's not ethical or fair and against the rules in the NFL, I guess.
Yeah, the injury reports are in place because it's a rule. You have to say if your guys are hurt or not and be transparent. And then if you break that rule, they're always going to fine you. But when there's a gambling schedule, they're going to be a little more. Then it's
high alert.
Yeah, high alert.
Yeah, it's on a higher alert. What is, Brian, do we have that? The rule on the NFL injury report. What
do you want, like the penalty if they break it?
Just the cadence of what needs to be released. Is it just one, hey, like if your guy's a limited practice participant on a Tuesday, does that need to get reported?
I think you have to report every day.
Every limited
3 times a week. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for a Sunday game. To promote transparency and prevent competitive advantages.
Yeah.
Interesting. And that's a league rule, which,
most teams get right every week.
Is there a college?
College is basically a free-for-all. I think there's one
free-for-all.
injury report you have to release before the game. Or you have to release a depth chart, and the injury report is included in that. The coaches can mess with you all they want.
Yeah, so that's a little bit more, which I don't know. What do you like better? Kind of having the trickery behind the scenes or being transparent and giving everybody the same kind of competitive, fair play? How much advantage do you get?
Well, if I thought that Lamar Jackson was playing all week and then at the last second he's not, and it's Cooper Rush, I mean, that's a totally different game plan. But that's me as a coach. Me as a fan.
It is a different game plan.
I bet on these guys. What the hell?
Yeah.
Like you can install more aggressive blitz packages and other stuff when you're not playing against Lamar. So.
No, I see. I got you.
I think I like the NFL better.
Yeah.
Partly just because I hate dealing with injury reports for college. trying
Yeah,
to find out if a guy's hurt or not.
it makes it more annoying in the NFL though for fantasy all week. I mean, this guy has a common cold and he's questionable for Sunday.
Yeah, you had that the
We
Bucker rant
yeah,
like 2
Yeah,
years
we
ago.
went on this. Yeah, I do remember now.
Yeah, no, you gotta know who that guy is. If he's a guy who's doing everything he can, like a scatterbo, to be out on the floor, out on the field. But some of these guys, you're right. You know, they're questionable. They're like, I'm not going this week. Like,
Yeah, well,
bruised hip. I'm not going this week.
Well, if you can find Matt's Bucker rant, throw it in here. It was a good one.
It was a good rant. I mean, it was like he was completely fine, and they had questionable tags all week. I mean, it's a total joke, but whatever. Not going to go on about that.
Moving along here on Sunday, pertaining to your division, Jack, we kind of talked about the Texans 49ers, but any worry CJ Stroud may have finally found it, and the Texans are back.
No, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm worried. I mean, the Niners have not fared well against the AFC South this year, so fair enough. Good win by the Texans. Definitely didn't expect it after the way the Niners played last week, the way the Texans played last week. But yeah, I'll give them some credit. They did it without Nico Collins, which is a big deal. I mean, he's definitely their best weapon on offense, and to be able to get that done without him is a good deal. But no, this is the defense going. This is a really good defense going up against Mac Jones, and like you said earlier, Mac Jones, George Kittle on one leg, 30-something-year-old Christian McCaffrey. It's just Juwan Jennings. Dude, Juwan Jennings is not a football player. He's so soft.
He is pretty soft. I will give you that. I think Mac Jones had like 8 passing yards in the first quarter of this game. The Texans just held the ball and kept it the whole first half. And then I know that it finished kind of close, but this game was never that close.
It was never close.
Yeah,
The Texans dominated that football game. And the only team this year, literally the only one this year to slow down and pretty much stop Christian McCaffrey. I mean, they did.
Yeah. He didn't really do anything. Well, I'm trying to think. Did he score?
No.
So they stopped.
I don't think so.
I guess that's enough to consider stopping
This
him.
guy goes into weeks fucking minus 350 to score touchdowns.
I'm going to have to double check for you.
I know Kittle and Tanja scored. I guess they only scored 2, right? 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion?
15 points.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at the stats now, and yeah, I mean, Christian McCaffrey had the Bijan Robinson treatment. 8 carries, 3 catches. Like, that's not enough work for Christian McCaffrey.
That's horrible.
That's not enough work for Christian McCaffrey in a football game. 11 touches. Bijan got 12 touches. I mean, these are just not enough touches for the best player on your football team.
How many throws did Mac Jones have? Because they did not have the ball. And I guess at the end, he probably padded his stats a little bit.
Mac Jones went 19 for 32.
Okay.
193 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick.
So he probably only had like 20 actual throws before the end where they were just scrambling. So they just didn't have the ball. This was a clinic by DeMeco Ryans and the Texans.
Yeah, it absolutely was.
Yeah, to be fair, Matt, you are right. This is the first time that he's been held in check this year. I mean, he definitely has gotten stuffed on the ground in a handful of games.
But
a lot of the game, he has 2 games averaging. He had more yards per carry in this game than he did against the Jags and the Rams. So that says something. But the receiving game, that's where it's really impressive. Holding him to 3 catches is the lowest by far this season. The other lowest is 6, also by the Jags.
wow.
Look, he still had a nice game against us, but we were pretty good.
Best D-line in football will do that to you.
I hope we get somebody by the deadline.
Yeah, who do you guys think is going to be the most active team this deadline?
I hope it's the Giants.
Why?
Get Dart some help for next year.
That doesn't need to happen now.
That doesn't need to happen right now.
Sure it does. You do it now, and then the draft, you focus on line and defense.
I mean, if that's where you want to go with it, sure. Hey, you could start developing that connection now with Neighbors out too. I mean, I wouldn't hate that.
Really need one stud wide receiver, and then you have Scatterbo, Neighbors, and the other stud. Tight end's still an issue. Dart had such a good ball to Theo Johnson on the sideline in that game, and Theo spazzed out and dropped it. It was terrible.
Are you out on Theo Johnson?
After watching that, I might be.
Sounds like
Oh no! Oh no!
I gotta find the clip, dude. It was a bad drop.
That's your boy.
It's like the most unathletic drop I've ever seen.
Shows you, dude. That's what Brian does. Fake fan.
Not a big fan. I'm just sick of. I built him up to be this great player, and he's just not proven himself.
He's not great.
No.
Sounds like a you problem.
Yeah, I think it was. I don't think I was the only one that expected Theo Johnson to become the Theo Johnson I had envisioned.
All right. Well, I liked this question that you had, Brian. Colts, Broncos, Chargers, Bills all take care of business. Any takeaways? No.
I think the
Absolutely.
Colts are really good still.
Yeah, we knew that. Like, you didn't know that by now?
Like, good enough for Jonathan Taylor to get the MVP.
I mean, that's another conversation. Will a running back get an
That's
MVP?
the takeaway.
Will a running back get an MVP? I mean, everybody's talking about how good Daniel Jones is playing this year.
It won't be.
It won't be
It won't be
Jones.
Jones.
It won't
Well,
be
I'm not
Jones.
saying it'll be Jones, but if you have another MVP caliber player on your offense with you, are you really like an MVP?
Dude, he's got 1,100 yards, 14 touchdowns.
So
Been 8 weeks.
last year, they compare it to Saquon because we thought we would never see a Saquon style year ever again. And I believe Saquon was 2,000 and change on the yards and 14 touchdowns or 15 touchdowns. And Jonathan Taylor's pacing for 2,400 yards, 2,200, 23, 24, somewhere around there. And he already has 14 touchdowns. So he's literally pacing, I'd say, for 25 touchdowns and 2,500 rushing yards.
If he can hit that, I will.
If
absolutely
you don't get the
MVP.
MVP for that, and I don't see anything that's slowing them down, dude. It's interesting, and they've had a questionable schedule, you can say.
They're playing the AFC South.
They beat the Titans. They beat the Raiders. Oh, they already got the. Yeah, they beat the Titans. They beat the Dolphins.
They beat the Broncos.
Broncos lost to the Rams.
Broncos handed them that game.
Dude, Cardinals, Raiders, Titans, Dolphins.
Play who's in front of you.
And they beat the Chargers. But you got, is there a little bit of a take it with a grain of salt with the Indianapolis Colts, regardless of them being 7-1?
I mean, the Chargers and the Broncos are both good wins. And they had that game against the Rams. They lost it at the end on a Tutu Atwell 80-yard touchdown. That's the game Adonai Mitchell dropped the ball too and had the touchback. Would have had an 80-yard touchdown of his own.
The thing I like about the hot start in the NFL is it builds momentum. It plays a psychological effect of the guys in the locker room of them maybe thinking they're better than they really are because of what their record says. And it helps, I think, to elevate the level of play that the guys are doing. If they started out and they had to play a gauntlet of a 5-game stretch and started out 1-4, we're talking about this is what we thought of the Colts. Daniel Jones isn't good. And this, the Colts are going to be in purgatory until they get a real quarterback and figure some things out, address the defense, whatever. But you play horrible teams to start out the year. You get to the 7-1 start, the only team with one loss in all of football. I think everybody else is at about 6-2. And you now are flying up power rankings. Jonathan Taylor MVP. The schedule doesn't get incredibly tough the rest of the way. They go to Pittsburgh, home against Atlanta.
That's in Dublin.
in Dublin against Atlanta, at Kansas City, home against the Texans, on the road against the Jaguars, on the road against Seattle. That could be tricky. At home against the Niners, at home against the Jaguars, and then on the road against the Texans. So look, they had it easy, but like that could be way tougher. I know it's tougher than the first half for sure, but that, I don't know. That could definitely be a little tougher.
Yeah, I mean, 4 divisional games, Jags and the Texans, some good teams. Seattle's not an easy team to beat. KC's a great team. San Francisco, I mean, we'll see how healthy they are at week 16, but I would have to think that Purdy's back and healthy by then. And they're fighting for a spot in the NFC playoff race. So I think that second half of their schedule coming out of that week 11 bye is going to be pretty tough.
If they play 500 football, they're going to win that division.
No doubt.
That's all they got to do. It's really going to be about Jonathan Taylor. And if he has 2,000 rush yards, 20 touchdowns, and then adds his receiving stats on top of that, that's enough to win MVP. I know he said 25 and 25, but 2,020, and then like 450 receiving, 4 or 5 receiving touchdowns. That's an MVP.
Let's ask this question real quick. How far away was Saquon Barkley from winning the MVP last year? How close was he? How far away was he? However you want to ask it. And that's based off 14 touchdowns and 2,000 yards rushing.
It was more about the yards. I think if he would have gone for the record and set the record, he could have won MVP. Just off of, this was the most rushing yards in a single season ever. Give him the MVP record that hasn't been broken in a very long time. So I could have seen that. But because he didn't get there, I don't really think it was all that close. I could be wrong, though.
The touchdowns also matter a lot, too. Like, if you see, as a voter, 20-plus touchdowns, I think LT is the record with 27 for running back. Like, if you get anywhere near that, they're going to vote for you.
I mean, we saw Randy Moss have, 30 touchdowns? But it's just so easy to give it to Brady, I guess. But
yeah,
that's why the running back can maybe have a chance since it's rushing and the quarterback isn't tied into that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of season left, but there's not really a quarterback that stood out this year.
LT had 31.
31, okay. Yeah, so if you can get around there, which Taylor has a long way to go, but, I mean, he's halfway there, and we're halfway through the season. So
that was 31 total touchdowns.
Total. That was 31 total.
And 28 okay. That season.
But here's the thing, and we already just addressed it when I went through the rest of the schedule. It gets tougher than what they saw. I mean, they are playing bottom feeders. The schedule gets a lot tougher. I think that answers the question right there. Jonathan Taylor is not winning the NFL MVP this year.
What did he have against the Broncos? He had 25 for 165. So I think he can do it against good teams.
Yeah, 6.6 yards per carry.
Against the Chargers, he had 16 for 94 and 3 TDs. So he's shown he can do it again. That line's really good.
Maybe.
But it's also a fair take to say he's not going to win it. I just think that's open enough this year where there's not that quarterback that's going to have like the 50 touchdown season. Lamar's hurt. Allen's been kind of underwhelming because they're giving.
I don't know. There's a guy in Kansas City.
They're going to give it to Mahomes for sure.
Has he been that impressed? He's rushed the ball a lot this year, though.
That adds up too.
Have you ever watched how this shit goes down, Brian?
I don't think they'll give it to Mahomes.
They're going to give it to Mahomes.
If the Chiefs were a little bit better, but they're going to win the division at like 12-5. It's not like maybe if they go 14-3, he gets the MVP. But I don't know. If the stats are comparable enough, maybe with voter fatigue too, all the NFL fans hate the Chiefs because of Taylor Swift. They give it to Taylor. Give it to the other Taylor.
Maybe. That'd be ironic.
He's got 18 touchdowns and 2 picks.
I mean, he's had a great year.
Like he's pacing for what's that, like 36-4? Like that's going to Mahomes, Brian.
Well, Burrow had 40-something and 6 last year, right?
Yeah, but his team didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, if that's 45-plus touchdowns and he throws less than 5 interceptions, sure.
I think
but under 40 touchdowns, no.
I think 35 plus and under 5 interceptions, and they win 11 or 12 games, he's absolutely winning the MVP.
Yeah, he's going to.
You don't have to like it.
He's going to need to have. He's going to need to have at least like 3,500 yards on top of that. But yeah.
Well, that's given. He's going to have 4,000.
I think he's going to have 4,000. Yeah,
I mean,
that'll be easy.
You would think so. You would think
with
so.
Rasheed Rice back.
See the current odds. So right now it's
Siri.
Oh my God. Right now the odds to win MVP: Mahomes plus 135, Josh Allen plus 380, Drake May is plus 420, Jonathan Taylor all the way down at plus 2,000. That's crazy. Take Jonathan Taylor.
Award.
Jonathan Taylor's not winning the MVP.
He should.
He's just not going to.
Well,
I would make a stronger case for him to get most improved player.
come on, that's disrespectful. He'll win Offensive Player of the Year if he doesn't win MVP.
Yeah, that's why they have that award, is for Saquon Barkley last year, Jonathan Taylor this year. The NFL MVP is literally just the quarterback award, and it's kind of just what you have to accept. Unfortunately, it's not going to go to the overall best overall athlete who balled out, whether it's a skill position guy. Hell, they'll never give it to a defensive player. And that's why they just call it the Defensive Player of the Year and the Offensive Player of the Year.
Travis Hunter could win it one year, but even then, he wouldn't even be a defensive player.
That would,
He's offense first.
That wouldn't be legit.
I could see it happen. If he has like a 1,500-yard, 7 interception season. It'd partly be for the gimmick of it, so I see what you're saying, but like I could definitely see Travis Hunter holding that MVP trophy one day.
Hell yeah.
Maybe not with the Jaguars.
Good luck with that.
Any other NFL takeaways before we talk some Views Fantasy League?
No, don't particularly have.
The Patriots be a bad team. The Broncos be a bad team.
Myles Garrett, though, 5 sacks, most since 1982, I believe. Which also I don't know why they chose that date.
Yeah, that's cool. You also gave up 30 points to Drake May.
Yeah, but 5 sacks.
Yeah. I mean,
he's
it's awesome.
out, but he made his own bed by re-signing there for $40 million a year.
Yeah, I don't give
now
people...
he gets to lay in it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. We see this happen every year across every single sport. Tyreek Hill also. It's a guy who's a superstar that takes the money, goes to a bad team, and then he's pissed that they don't win. Like, what do you expect?
Yeah. They're pissed about the money. They get the money. Now they're pissed.
Yeah, but now he's only got to be pissed for like 3 hours a week instead of being pissed about the money for 7 days a week.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right.
Do you think he's pissed once he goes home to his mansion and drives his Lamborghini and then plays golf on his golf simulator before going to bed, eating some tiramisu and drinking the best wine in the world?
No, but I know the fact that he doesn't have a ring keeps him up at night sometimes.
Especially on Super Bowl Sunday.
He could go play flag football in the Olympics and get a gold medal, and he'll be fine.
I don't think that's the same.
I don't think that's the case.
Oh, that's a Carmelo Anthony.
Hey, not everybody's built the same. Melo didn't care. Myles Garrett, he cares.
Maybe you shouldn't have taken the money then.
And that's why I don't give him the time of day like this.
Well, we just did.
Oh, 5 sacks. I'll give him the time of day for the 5 sacks.
It's a lot of sacks.
But
it's a lot of sacks.
It is, dude. You get 5 sacks in the year as a rotational player, you're getting paid the next year.
Yeah, no doubt.
Paid. And there's a reason he's got 40 mil, but yeah, I mean, they'll never be able to sign a quarterback while he's on that contract. So enjoy. That's their quarterback.
They got to play Shador.
I don't think he'll play 1 snap all year.
But why?
I just think they're doing let him marinate on the bench, which at all the organizations, the Browns should not be like housing first round or draft picks on the bench and trying to be a QB factory. That should not be their go-to. But I don't hate it. The season's already a wrap. It's already over. You have Dylan Gabriel, who's young. Just let him go out there and F around and let Shador sit in the wings, and next year see what you got. But why your team's already bad enough as it is. Why go out there and ruin the confidence? He's already got an ego. The media attention that will draw. The Browns don't need that right now or this year.
I guess at least go trade him to the Jags or something. Let him hang out with Travis.
I mean, I don't want that. I really don't. I don't know where that came from. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
I mean, yeah, dude, it's there is going to be a quarterback conversation in Jacksonville. I don't know when it will be, but I'm surprised it hasn't already happened. If that was in Philadelphia, this guy would have been gone 2 years ago.
Can only go so many years with blaming it on the coaches.
Yeah, right? That's what I think. I mean, this guy's got a long leash. That's all I'm saying, man. He's got a long leash.
You're not going to catch me on camera showing any disbelief at all.
I'm just saying he's got a long leash. I mean, it's a long leash. That's all you can say.
Yeah,
it's a long.
It's
leash.
it's a well-deserved. It's been a well-desered leash.
I don't think he even has a leash anymore. It's like an electric fence, and he's in the field.
No, it's a long leash. It is a long leash, but he's.
Well, hold on. No, you said it's a well-deserved long leash.
It is.
Why? Why is it well-deserved?
It's well-deserved considering what he's had to go through to start his NFL career.
Which is
Urban Meyer 4 years ago.
Doug Peterson.
Doug Peterson as well. Like, don't act like
Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles.
Yeah, when he gave a shit.
I know we joke and laugh, dude. I know we joke and laugh.
Shit.
Come on, man. There's no way he went down there and he just didn't give a shit. He was trying. He was
Look,
just.
I know you weren't watching Jacksonville Jaguar pressers.
I wasn't.
But just watch one of them. Watch literally any one of them, and tell me that that's the same coach you had in Philadelphia.
It probably wasn't, dude. He had fire when he was in Philly.
That's what I'm saying, Matt. I rest my case.
Maybe he didn't have the same fire, but there's a difference between losing a little bit of the fire and then just strictly not caring.
Bro,
and that's what I'm trying to
say. Checked out. Like he was showing up in Hawaiian shirts to the office to a big quarterly meeting with your clients. Like that's like the vibe that he was giving us.
Andy Reid does that.
Yeah, and he wins multiple Super Bowls and has been an established coach in that city for a long time. No, Doug Peterson was there for a year, and we were decent. We were average.
Who was the head coach of the Trevor Lawrence comeback game?
Doug.
Oh, it was Doug?
Yeah.
Don't want to give him credit for that.
Don't want to give him credit for that win. That's all Trevor. Trevor got that one done. Everything else, though, Doug doesn't give a fuck.
That was earlier on in the tenure, Matt. I'm talking about the last year, last year plus.
I'm not trying to give you a hard time. I just love the excuses. That's all.
Jack, what do you got on the fantasy league?
Nothing. I got
nothing.
I got Jonathan Taylor this week and threw my phone across the room.
Did it break?
No, I didn't actually throw my phone. I'm not that petty. It's 1 week in fantasy football.
Well, I almost threw my phone after Tyler Kraft. I got Tyler Kraft in one of my leagues. That was not fun.
You
mean Tucker Kraft?
Who was Tyler? Oh, Tyler Kraft was the Rutgers kid that was on the Bengals.
Oh, the tight end, yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Well, I can give you guys a little bit of an update. Another week, another loss for Ben Cornforth, our defending champion.
That was
giving Brian a win. Is this going to be your first win or second win?
Second win. Dude, it's been rough. My first 3 picks for Jaden Daniels, Malik Neighbors, and Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah. Were they really? Did you really go with those 3 LSU guys, your first 3 picks?
Yeah, I did. It was Neighbors first, then BTJ, then Jaden.
Yeah, I mean, that's the right way to do it as far as fantasy football goes this year, but that's brutal. That
Yeah,
is
rough
just
year
brutal.
for LSU.
Yeah, we had Matt Cullen, 6-1, killing the league, but tough week this week.
Yeah, so I
Call it
like
scheduled loss.
I like to refer back to the Doc Rivers press conference years ago when they went to Milwaukee, and he didn't even bother trying to defend the team playing horrifically in their game. He just came out and said, "You know what? This was a scheduled loss. We looked at the schedule at the beginning of the year, where things lined up, and it's just a scheduled loss. It's a really good way to face the music." And you started the show, Jack. It was the Buy-Mageddon week, and I unfortunately was a victim of the Buy-Mageddon this week, and
So that's why you started 5 people on a bye.
yes, it was a scheduled loss. What am I going to do? Pick up people I don't want to drop for somebody who might get 3 points?
Not only that, but he had a 0 on his bench, a 0.9 on his bench, and 2 other zeros on his bench.
Well, that's why I was trying to explain what's the point in setting the lineup.
Well, you
Look,
could have moved one of them to IR
I
and
could have
put in a
moved some people
quarterback.
around. There's
I
a
mean,
lot
you got
of people-
18 points out of your kicker. I
There's
mean,
a
that's
lot
enough
of-
to get
there's
me.
A lot of players, a lot of teams I'm managing. I went through the ringer through a lot of Buy-Mageddon decisions this week, and this one, I didn't take the scheduled loss approach elsewhere, and I don't know. I think it's a fun headline for the league that somebody actually just took a scheduled loss.
Yeah, well, I believe it or not, Matt, you're not alone. There's another team in our league who's got a fair record, and Team Bussy Liquor. They also started 4 players on a bye and 3 additional players that were out. So 7 players that totaled 0.
Yeah, see,
So,
but I could
as a
afford to lose the game. Could he afford to lose that game?
Yeah. No, I mean, a 3-4 record, definitely not swinging.
You don't want to be taking scheduled losses, but when you're 6-1,
it can happen.
It's fine to take a scheduled loss.
You were also playing the other 6-1 team,
which is
that
completely
was a
fine.
battle
You can
for
win
first
you
place.
can win the regular season. I will take the win in the playoffs.
I like the approach. I've seen the Chiefs do that a couple of times.
Yeah. So completely fine. We bounce back. The buys are done terrorizing our team. We're 6-2. We're in a really nice spot going forward. And I'm sticking to the game plan. And the game plan doesn't need to be disclosed.
Doesn't. But we just to wrap up this, we've got an early season favorites starting to form here. We've got Njigba's Die Every Day at 6-1. Team at Matt Cullen 1 at 6-1. Cooper DeJean at 5-2. Metcalf Gear Solid at 5-2. Easy E at 5-2. And that rounds out the top 5. 6 make the playoffs. And we've got a 4-team tie for 6th place right now between Views from Jack, yours truly, Rippin' Darts, Team Bussy Liquor, and Vinaya Co 69.
Don't count out the 2 and 6 El Jefes.
Yeah, and then we have a 2 and 5 Will Gardner and a 1 and 6 Brian Howe, who will be getting a win this week. So congrats for that.
I believe Will also won. He did. Yeah.
It's all good. I will
tune in next week for the next update.
No, tune in on Thursday for the next show, and then tune in next week for the next update.
Yeah. Can't wait to get it going.
That's why you do this.
I absolutely smoked the board again in the confidence picks.
Did you?
Starting to pull away, Brian.
I don't know if you did.
Yeah, I did.
We'll see you guys Thursday.
Peace.